Welcome back, guys, to another beautiful day down at Boynton Beach, and we've got a low tide today, which always makes things interesting down here at the ramp, because what winds up happening is the ramp, the slick parts are all of a sudden exposed, and almost every vehicle we see, especially if they're rear-wheel drive, struggles getting off the ramp. And our first vehicle we're filming today, right over here on the left, is going to fall victim just as we're talking about. These guys, I mean, it's just this particular ramp. When it hits low tide, just all the slickness, like all the slime and everything that builds up on the ramp is just exposed, and that's where your rear tires wind up. So if you're a rear-wheel drive vehicle, you usually wind up struggling out here during these times. And this truck, as we can see already, he is spinning tires all over the place, and they're struggling to get it out. A lot of times we'll have to see people go into four-wheel drive, or of course add weight to the rear of the bed. So it'd be interesting to see how this crew decides they're going to approach it. Right now they're approaching it with the give or hell method, and all we're getting is the rear of the vehicle sliding around though. And they got to be careful because they're going to wind up getting themselves into a jam here a little bit, because they're going to get the trailer sideways. As we can see here, they're looking because it's going to start backing back into the ramp. And you can kind of get yourself stuck on this one, because if that trailer gets wedged into the ramp and you can't get it up, you can wind up in trouble. So we've gotten it at least straightened back out, but they're going to have to use some kind of different approach. It's going to take a little more than whatever they're throwing at it right now. And so we've got one gentleman who's getting in the bed of the truck. And I wonder if one gentleman's going to be enough for this. I mean, typically when we see these situations, it takes several, or it takes somebody firing up the motors and kind of giving the assistance from the boat as well.
You don't have a weight on it.
But our guy, I mean, it looks like we're going to stick with one.
Let it back down.
And so we've got the other gentleman, he's outside the truck, but I couldn't really see what he was doing over there.
Release the line.
But he's getting back in, and we're going to give this one another shot with one person on the end of the truck. And the guy in the boat probably should walk up closer to the tongue, or as far forward in the bow of the boat as he can get as well. Just try and get that weight up there. So they're going to let the boat float for a second to kind of give themselves a running start and take all that pressure off the tongue. But it's not really going to help a whole lot, because we need the weight to get it up there. And they're running it hard, and it looks like it's going to happen. I'm actually shocked that they were able to pull this off with just one person in the bed of the truck. And our crew's trying to pull this one out, and they've got the trailer. Oh, look out, look out, look out. Oh, he's got a bob and weave. You got to be fast at the ramp. Oh, man, and it's coming back at him again. They're backing back down. He's going to miss it twice. My man's on fire. And here comes our crew heading into the dock, and they're following that golden rule. Don't approach anything any faster than you want to hit it, but I'm a fan of the slow roll approach at the docks. They're coming in. They actually got a pretty good line. I'm not really a huge fan of their fender positioning. Need to move that rear fender up. And, oh, they're going to hit the dock. And even the girl that's on the dock kind of looks at him like, what are you doing, bro? He shook the whole dock, and she just wasn't quite ready for it. But my man's going to get off here with the line, and we should be able to get this one up. They probably want to move that rear fender the next time. There should be hopefully a tow rail over there that can move that up a little bit further. I have not seen one of these in years. This is that old contraption that Sea-Doo sold, where you could actually like run your Sea-Doo basically up on this thing and turn your Sea-Doo into a boat. I mean, they were interesting. It was definitely an interesting concept, but when you really broke down the cost, a lot of times you were probably still just as fine to buy the boat itself. But anyway, they still are fun. They're cool to see out there, and maybe it's something I should put on if it floats at boats one time, but they just weren't that uncommon. We just don't see them a lot anymore. And this crew, he started the engine up, and they're backing down. Is he off the trailer? I'm having a tough time telling. I mean, they've got this thing basically sideways. Is it not disconnected from the bow strap? I can't. It looks like our guy's getting out. So, yeah, he started to pull off, and it appears we never disconnected it, or he's stuck on a bunk. So it looks like he's stuck on a bunk, and we're just going to give him the little push off. And we should be able to get this truck out of here. They're telling the truck to go, but he's got himself kind of in a position here as well. He's pretty shallow up on the ramp. And they've got this thing vertical, and I'm curious to see how he's going to handle this, because I'm not sure what the turning capabilities of something like this are. So our guy's going to slow roll approach the dock at first. He's coming in a little hot. We're definitely hitting. Oh! And they're going to smack right away. And my man just kind of tosses his hands in the air. And whoa, 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 this is a no-wake zone, boys, and my man's taking off out of here. Tosses the lines in, we're going full of pull-up, and we're crooked. So we're going to have to work on this one a little bit. The tough part about working on this one now is my man tossed the lines in, and we're a little far for reaching. He doesn't have great access to where this boat is to be able to go over there and try and grab it. So we're getting a little closer as they're starting to pull up here, but he's still going to have to bring this back down at least one more time to try and reposition it. My man goes for the reach to see if he can grab that line, but it's just out of reach now. But our crew is going to set this one back up and more than likely try and pull this up slowly. I mean, that's still kind of the key with this stuff. When you're doing these, if you can get this up a little bit slowly, let the trailer do its job and self-center the boat for you. And right now our crew really doesn't have a whole lot of options other than that, since they've tossed the lines into the boat, and as we're trying to reach again, it's still just out of their reach where they can try and help guide this thing on. My man on the dock wants it so bad though. He wants that line. It looks like, I could be wrong, but it looks like one of our guide poles on the left side of this is starting to push up as well. You can tell how the boat's tilted. I think it's rubbing on that guide pole, and as the boat's tilting, it's picking that guide post up. You could tell it's higher than the guide post that's on the right-hand side. So we've got this floating again, and our driver really needs to try and get this a little bit closer to the dock. This guy needs one that's on the dock, wants to get on this boat and help as much as possible. And there goes the guide pole. I was right. It was being pulled up. He goes for the leap and gets on the boat. He's going to go for the rescue anyway. But you can tell this wind and current's pulling because it's already pulling the boat off the trailer. And fortunately, they have a boat hook, it appears, on hand, and they're able to go ahead and get the guide post pretty quickly. But we are now drifting off the rear of the trailer for sure. So our guy's got the guide post. He's putting it back in the boat. He looks like he goes to think about starting the vessel, but I'm not sure if there's any keys up there. Maybe the guy who's driving the truck, it's his boat, and maybe he took the keys. So he now asks him to go ahead and put the pole back in, but we've drifted far enough off. I'm not sure if you can see this. Nope, he's got a shot at doing it. And he's going to tell him to take the top off to kind of relieve that pressure, because right now when he's pushing it down, the water's building up inside, and it's just going to float like a bobber if you can't get the pressure off of it. So here you can tell we probably drifted off this again. He's trying to push the boat back over using this probably off the ground just to see if he can get the boat drifted back enough. Here it might be a little easier even to walk to the other side, grab the other guide post and pull the boat over, but it looks like he's gotten close enough now. There we go, where you can kind of wedge this thing on. He's going to push it down. And now the trick is, can we get the boat off straight? You should be able to have somebody now that's got a little bit of help if he stays on the vessel to help them straighten this out. So hopefully they can pull this one this time, and hopefully they don't wind up spinning tires on the way while doing it. So our guy's taking it really slow and easy this time, really going to let this thing self-center. And that should be the key. And after our guidepost rescue, it looks pretty good, and it looks like this crew is going to wind up getting out of here. And speaking of getting out of here, we're going to get out of here as well. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Miami Boat Ramps. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at Haulover Inlet. My channel, Broncos Guru, we do some great comedy boating videos over there as well. And of course, we've got Boats vs. Haulover, where man and machine take on Mother Nature down at Haulover Inlet in Miami, Florida. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.